For those of you out there that are familiar with my production videos, that is, I'm shooting the production class in the USPSA, I use the Beretta 92F. I've had this gun since probably 1989 and had virtually no issues with it other than when I first started learning how to reload the 9mm. Not too long after I got it, I swapped out the rear sight for an adjustable rear sight because it wasn't having the same point of impact that I wanted. It basically wasn't shooting where I wanted it to. It was off. And the adjustable sights were a nice fix for that. Well, as I said, I've been shooting this with no issues until the AR-15 two-gun match, or a couple of months ago. And probably the first or second stage, the adjustment screw from our rear sight popped right out and it was gone. And it sucked pretty bad, except it was a two-gun match and I was able to transition to my rifle pretty soon after that and finish the stage. And I had to borrow a Glock for the rest of the match, which is no big issue, except I never shoot Glocks. But anyways, you can see some of those videos if you want there of that two-gun match. It was kind of fun. It was a pretty good day, with the exception of my gun breaking. But it took me a while searching online trying to figure out who made this sight and where I could get a spare part. Brownells didn't have it. And I finally ran into a place, PSI. And I'll annotate their website here in the description so you can check them out if you need to. But they were kind enough to send me not one, but two screws. So I have an additional for when or if this ever happens again. And these little springs right here, they fit right in here as near as I can tell. So I guess they figured I'd lost those too. So I have an additional two springs in case that loses again, or I lose those fall out. But I'm going to put this new screw in here and we'll give it a look and see how it goes. Fantastic. Fit like a glove, fit like it was made to fit. So there it is right there. I'll probably put some Loctite on it, even though it's got those little grippy things on the side. See if I can zoom in on that so you can see it. What that allows you to do is when you make an adjustment with your screw, it pops and I guess holds it nice and tight. But I don't understand how mine came out because it had the little grippy things on there and everything. But I now have a new screw and I'm back in action. So thank you, PSI. And for those of you who had questions about the 92F, let me tell you a little bit about mine. Like I said, bought it back in 1989. This is the 92F, not the 92FS. The only modifications I've done to it, like I said, are the rear sight. I didn't like the fixed sight, and I blacked out the dots on the rear sight. For some reason, the 3-dot system that the Beretta and some other guns come with, I just can't seem to hit with it. It does something for me, and I just cannot hit anywhere. This one here, I've taken a file, kind of ground on the magazine well a little bit, so my magazines fit a little easier for the mag changes in IPSC. You have to do a lot of mag changes. And the lanyard. I'm not going to be using a lanyard anytime soon. And whenever I put in the magazine, my palm would smack that lanyard right there when I seated the magazine. So I took the magazine or the lanyard out and ground it off, rounded it real nice, so now it's nice and flat. Because I'm not going to need a lanyard. But never replaced any of the parts in here yet, except for the sight. The barrel is quite worn. I mean, you can see a lot of the finishes off. I don't know how many thousands, tens of thousands of rounds I have through this gun. Guide rod, still original spring. And barrel, you can see a lot of wear on that. Really not much wear on the slide that I can see. Everybody I know that's in the military poo-poos this gun, and I'm sure they see a lot more of them than I do. So the chances of them seeing a bad one are a lot more increased. But so far I haven't had any issues with this. I'm told the black ones, such as this, have a better trigger pull than the silver ones. This one here, everyone that's ever shot it goes, man, that's the best trigger pull ever for a Beretta. For single action, put it on the scale here. It is Pretty heavy. 6.5 pounds. If you're used to shooting single action 1911s, that's a lot. But it's real smooth. There's no creep in there at all, no jerkiness. The trigger feels like it's polished. Double action, I bet my scale doesn't even do it. I'm already up to probably almost 10 pounds, I suspect, for double action. But I find this trigger is real smooth. When it breaks, there's virtually no movement until it breaks, and it's just very smooth. I really enjoy shooting it. I've considered doing another production gun instead of this to compete with, but I just haven't got around to it. I've looked at the CZ Shadows. I really like them. I know a couple of the guys that shoot for CZ, real nice guys, and I've checked their guns out. So maybe one day it'll be in my future, but for now I'm just going to stick with the 92F. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more shooting and gun related videos.